Hey y'all, it's me, and welcome back to another day of the Dawn's Daily Devotional, reading out of Experiencing God Day by Day. Today is October 1st, so happy new month, everyone. Today's devotional title is called Painful Reminders, and the verse of the day comes from Acts 14, verse 19, and it says, "When they had won over the crowds and stoned Paul, they dragged him out of the city, thinking he was dead." The devotional reads, God has many ways to deter us from sin. One is to provide reminders for us so that we never take disobedience to Him lightly. Before his conversion, Paul assumed that he was righteous before God. In reality, Paul was so disoriented to God that he arrested and executed Christians in order to please Him. Paul was so blinded to God's will that when he watched Stephen being brutally murdered for his faith, Paul's heart was hardened, and he became even more determined to imprison other Christians. It is significant that there are two occurrences of stoning mentioned in the New Testament, Stephen's and Paul's. Was it coincidence that God allowed Paul to be stoned in the same manner as Stephen had been? God had certainly forgiven Paul for his involvement in Stephen's death, but God also left him with a reminder of what his arrogance had led him to do. If pride could blind Paul to God once, pride could do it again. Perhaps Paul's thorn in the flesh was a direct result of this stoning. It may have served as a visible reminder to Paul and to others of the terrible consequences of sin. God is absolutely just. He loves and He forgives, but He does not compromise His righteousness. God deals with us uniquely. He draws upon our experiences to teach us about Himself. God will forgive us of our sin, but He may provide stark reminders of the ugliness of sin. Let us thank God that He loves us enough to remind us of those destructive consequences of sin in our lives. Don't throw a stone and hide your hand. Sometimes boomerang effect will come back. So live in a way that you give grace to others, because the same way you treat your neighbor, you never know, you might move in 10 years and have that neighbor be a mirror of what you just gave out. So if you haven't reached to the end of your life and you're still living life and people are around you making certain mistakes and you're like, oh, well, you're bad because of X, Y, Z, and you're passing judgment on someone, remember, time is still to come. You might slip up and make the same mistake. And if you would expect in the same situation to have a little grace or for someone to give you forgiveness, then treat others with that same type of energy. Platinum rule trumps the golden rule. Golden rule, treat others the way that you would want to be treated. Platinum rule, treat others the way that they will want to be treated. Learn those around you and give them respect. Try that today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.